Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this third episode of the Morning Meta for October 10th, Columbus Day for some of us in North America. And hope you all had a wonderful weekend. So we've got a lot to cover as well. It was a weekend, and weekends tend to be the busiest time of the year. So let us get underway. So League of Legends group stages did wrap up this weekend. Uh, there was a lot going on there. There was happiness, there was sadness, there was rage, there were death threats from fans, there was a player getting banned. So you know, League of Legends has a little bit of everything for you. So let's start off with the last one. So Road was uh, Chinese player banned for one game for telling Forgiven to go kill himself when he was in solo queue, for insulting Koreans in lots of horrible ways when he was in Korea. Briefly, I mean, the short version is that he was a toxic jerk, and Riot doesn't like that. So he got banned for one game and fined. But you know, it's still a punishment, and I certainly still approve of Riot saying you did not follow the rules. You are going to be punished. There are certain esports that really should learn from that. And I'm not talking about necessarily esports not having strict rules. I'm just talking about esports actually across the board saying we don't care if this is going to impact your tournament experience. You screwed up. You have to face the fine or the punishment or whatever. So let's go ahead and run through group standings really quickly. Important highlights here, if you will. Korea, number one in all of their groups. Congratulations to them. Albus Nox Luna, first wildcard team to make it out of groups. Albus Nox Luna, also the first team to make me actually truly enjoy watching League of Legends for prolonged periods of time. I've always found League of Legends to feel a little bit too A plus B equals C. There's not a whole lot of variation that again, in my eyes, as somebody who doesn't play a lot of it to catch the nuances, the macro level always felt a little bit. I could appreciate it, but the insanity that Albus Nox Luna brings to the games is wonderful. So Albus Nox Luna did take second in Group A to Rocks Tigers. So go Wildcards. Europe did manage to make it out with H2K in Group C going ballistic, with a little bit of help from the rest of their group just going a little bit weird. And China taking second in two groups. So China, you know, I mean, they still were able to salvage in some cases, but they also had some hard times in other places as well. So Cloud9, lastly, is the only NA team to make it out of groups. NA went 3-3, 3-3, and 3-3. The problem is that in Group A, going 3-3 puts you behind Rocks Tigers and Albus Nox Luna. So, sorry, CLG. Going to Group B, then, you had SK Telecom, 5-1. Congrats. Cloud9, 3-3. IMA, 2-4. And Flashwebs 2-4 as well. So, again, that 3-3 worked for Cloud9 there, but not necessarily all that well. Group C, H2K, after a rough week one, though not as rough as, say, Splice or G2, who went G gone and went 1 and 5. H2K went 4 and 2, second week just popping off, and Edward Gaming took second in their group, going 4 and 2 as well, meaning that Taiwan, LMS's AHQ Esports Club, is out, and then INTZ 1-5. Also out. And then lastly in Group D, Samsung Galaxy 5-1, Rel Never Go Up 3-3, Team Solo Mid 3-3, but they did lose the head-to-head to RNG, so out. And then Splice sitting at that bottom of the barrel 1 and 5. So that is where your group standings are at the end of groups, quite frankly. So now we look at the quarterfinals draw. They then take the results and go, okay, no first seed will play another, can be in the same group as another first seed, and kind of so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, just kind of put them across, and then they sort of shuffle up the second seeds and put them where they do. So what that means, however, is a very interestingly weighted bracket as far as a lot of people are concerned. So, beginning Thursday, October 13th at 3 p.m. Pacific, we have SKT T1 versus Royal Never Give Up in the left side of your quarterfinals bracket. So that could be a very good series. Then on the same side of this bracket, we have Rocks Tigers against Edward Gaming. So all of China is on the same side of the bracket. 2 out of 3 Korean teams, same side of the bracket. Not only 2 out of 3 teams, but the 2 teams that took first and second at Worlds last year. Think about it. That's why a lot of people weren't happy with it, because when you look at a longer scale thing, you weighted this bracket very heavily. Going to the other side, H2K up against Albus Nox Luna. So we have EU versus Russia. There are a lot of jokes here that are probably not in good taste, but Cold War, Putin, Stalin, pick one. Then lastly, Samsung Galaxy versus Cloud9. So, Monte Cristo was tweeting about, congratulations on Samsung Galaxy going, top 2 guaranteed. There were a lot of people that were saying that semifinal number 1 on Friday, October 21st was going to be amazing. That's going to be the one between the winner of SKT versus RNG and the winner of Rocks Tigers versus ADG, which I think could be a very good series. But I also think that on the other side of the bracket, there are some interesting things that could occur. So we'll see. Again, H2K, Samsung Galaxy, Rocks Tigers, and SKT all did take first in their groups. So they all should be afforded due to, if you just sample how they did in the last 2 weeks, they all should be afforded first seed status. With that said, going on to slightly boring logistic things, League of Legends announced prior to Worlds that they would be adding to the prize pool, adding to it via skin sales and stuff like that starting this year. And they announced on the stream last night that it was up to $4.1 million. So congratulations to Riot. Welcome to the crowdfunding club. I look forward to seeing how this all works out. I'm glad that they are sharing more with the teams, but I do feel like for the longest time, yes, it was known, but because it wasn't talked about too much, you were able to kind of get away with talking more about the prestige of the event, not the prize money of the event, which is something that on the whole, I think esports at some point will need to reach, where it's, yes, this is a, $400,000, $500,000, million, $5 million, whatever dollar event, but the prize money, while important, is not the point. It's the prestige, it's the, whatever else. And it's something that we see in certain fighting game community events where there may or may not be a pot bonus. There may not be that many extra people playing, but was the pool of play good? Was the production good? Would you go back and compete again? If yes to all of these, then check this off as a major, or what have you, pretty much. But that's League of Legends with a minor tangent on to, I don't even know what I would call that. My vision of the future of esports, I guess. Anyways, moving on. My second page of notes, I have Dota, and then immediately followed with Secret-WTF. Because, well, if you were not online yesterday, the very, very short version is Eternal Envy and Misery were not happy with their time at Secret and decided to write about it. If you were online yesterday but only caught all of the puppy memes and everything else, well, we're going to go ahead and break this sucker down for you. So, Eternal Envy wrote a blog post Sunday afternoon. I was out buying, actually, the wall coverings and the table that this is that you're currently sitting on. So I read it on my phone. It was a very long blog post. It was taken down fairly shortly after, and I can't quite, I missed some of the drama involving it being taken down as far as why it was, how it was, etc. But it was. And there were a lot of images. He posted a lot of screenshots of text conversations, Facebook chat logs, Skype logs, you name it, it's there. And I mean, this is a manifesto. It's a borderline novella. It is long. The super short version is that Secret didn't pay. Secret had said that they would not take money out of prize winnings, even though they did. He claimed that the environment was very hostile, to the point of Puppy telling people, look, if you disagree, why don't you take it to fisticuffs? Things like that. So very, very interesting. So, and when I say Secret didn't pay, I don't mean they didn't pay the salaries. Secret also would not pay for months at a time. And there are a lot of questions surrounding that still. We want to know, why didn't Secret pay? Because part of the thing is, and also, was it only to certain players? Because there was an indication that Eternal Envy has received significantly more of his prize winnings than Misery did. Per both what Eternal Envy wrote and then also what Misery wrote in a blog post that came out a few hours later that was pretty much corroborating a lot of EE's accusations. Again, we have not seen, unless it was released in the last 30 minutes, a statement from Team Secret. So, right now we pretty much are taking what the players have said at face value. Obviously, I've learned in my time in esports that you can't take what one side says without a grain of salt, or two, but it is certainly worth noting. So that is where we're at right now, as Secret has been accused of not paying the, quote, 5-figure salary that was promised. They would pay out late for events. They made up these miraculous stories about why they weren't getting paid. So and so's, or the prize money has not been paid out to the team yet because the bank account has been blackballed by the org. What does that even mean? What does that mean? But at the end of this, the biggest thing to take away is get a written contract. And don't just sign something that's just absolutely screws you if you're a player or an esports person. Get a written contract that, maybe you look it over with a lawyer if you're concerned, because it's really easy for these, an organization with millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands, when you're a broke kid playing video games and you just want to play more, it's really easy for them to just kind of bury stuff in that contract and then screw you down the line. So, go to a lawyer. There are plenty of good esports lawyers out there. There are plenty of good contract lawyers. You do not need to know esports to be able to read a contract. So I can almost guarantee that you can find a lawyer who will read over your contract for a reasonable rate in your area. So seriously, if you are doing anything in esports for someone and you are working for them, get a contract. Though that does mean that you need to live up to your end of the bargain as well. On the happier end of things, Summit 6 LAN was announced last night. Wings, EG, DC, and OG have all been directly invited. I guess I should have said WG just so they would all be two-letter acronyms. But anyways, so I look forward to that. That's going to be in late November, or mid-November, excuse me. So look forward to the summit. As always, it's a good time. It's a little bit more relaxed, and in this case, it should be a bit of a precursor to what's going to happen at the Boston Major. Which, brief update, we may not be doing Twitch events or Twitch streams live from the Boston Major, but we will be trying to go. And if I go and I'm able to get press credentials of any kind, I'm going to try and do episodes live from the Boston Major. So those should go up on YouTube and SoundCloud, respectively. So, also might as well take this moment to plug all of those as we are at about the halfway point in this episode. So if you are interested in catching this in its full form at a later date, you can check this out on YouTube, searching up Morning Meta. Unfortunately, we don't have enough subscribers on YouTube yet to have a custom URL, so please hit that subscribe button on YouTube and help us out there. Also, you can find this in podcast format if you prefer audio only. You can check out the Stay Free GG network, now with over 5 podcasts and growing. Plenty of great content there. So if you go to stayfree_GG on SoundCloud, or again, just search Morning Meta, they are all uploaded there almost immediately after recording is done. Just have to do a little bit of encoding, shuffling, and uploading, and it is going to be on its way for your eardrums. Once again, Stay Free GG. Happy to be part of that network. Gonna be doing great things. Moving forward, Counter-Strike. ECS is really the only thing going on right now. And, well, there was a fair amount going on this weekend in ECS in the North American scene. Nothing, super crazy. Immortals and SK split their set because they're playing best of twos. Optic versus Luminosity split. Immortals versus CLG split. Immortals versus Cloud9 split. SK versus CLG split. Liquid versus Cloud9 split. Immortals versus Optic split. CLG versus Liquid split. SK versus Energy. Energy won both of those. Also, I apologize. The first 2 sets, SK won both and Luminosity won both as well. But it was that's a lot of not so much back and forth. So, but again, a lot of North American Counter-Strike going on right now. ECS Europe, not quite as much due to WESG going on. Again, WESG is cool if you're interested in seeing some slightly shuffled rosters, but at the same time, it feels like a lot of exhibition matches. Yes, there's prize money on the line and everything else, but I have a hard time getting excited for events where players get kind of shuffled in. And I'm not saying that it's not great. I'm not saying the players don't enjoy themselves, but what I am saying is that personally, I like tracking the arcs, the storylines, and you can't get that when a team is together for an event. So, it is what it is. But ECS Europe, ECS Season 2 versus Europe, NIP 2-0'd Fnatic on Overpass and Cash, and Mousesports 2-0'd Fnatic on Overpass and Dust 2. So Fnatic not doing too hot these days. So that's it's a little bit rough. So Counter-Strike, looking forward to the January Major, as well as a couple more tournaments before that, although that may be the next major thing, the beginning of January, E-League in Atlanta, Georgia. Looking forward to it. Now, Overwatch. Let's move on to Counter-Strike's cousin, shall we? We have the Chinese APAC, which is the Overwatch Asian Pacific. What does that total title stand for? I don't remember. APAC Premier Tournament. It's cool. I quite enjoy watching it when I'm not falling asleep because it's an opposite time zone. But Group A, was Unsold, S Snake Overwatch, VG Overwatch, and Energy. Energy and VG were the top two in that group. Group B was IG Fire, SKG, Rogue, and Lunatic High. The last name sounds more like a player than a team, but okay. Rogue. So, first group, okay. Energy won. Cool. You know, West is beating China. Group 2. Lunatic High 2-0 in the final best of 3 over Rogue. Excuse me. So, China can't hold their own in against the number 2 team in Europe. So, that's good to see. And then Group C, we have DTN Overwatch, Afriques B, NGA, and Allstrike. Afriques and NGA made it out of that group. So now we're into the playoffs for the APAC Premier. We have Energy versus Snake, Lunatic High versus VG Overwatch, VGB versus Rogue, and Allstrike versus NGA. For the round 1 best of 5s, then you'll have semifinals and finals, which will be a best of 7. Yes, I love best of 7s in Overwatch. No, and I'm not even trying to be like funny. Like, I actually do think the best of 7 is a very good format for the game, especially if you really force the teams to diversify a little bit. Now, moving on to the OGN Apex League. My stats are a bit outdated as they did play another 2 series overnight, and I put these stats into this document before they played those games. I think the games might actually still even be going on. I'm just gonna run through them briefly as they've only played 1 game in Group A and 1 game in Group B. So Group A, Flash Luck, Freaks B, Rogue, RG Titan. Flash Luck's 3-2'd over Rhinos. Group B, BK Stars, MVP Space, Energy, and KD Unchia. We have BK Stars 3-2'd over Kongdu. Group C, Conbox, Lunatic High, Envy, Mighty ST, LW Blue, Runaway, Kongdu P, and Reunited in Group D. And then lastly, we have ourselves Street Fighter, Smash, FGCs in general, miscellany. A lot of FGC stuff going on this weekend. I actually couldn't find one reasonable place to put it all together. I know it's typically supposed to be my job, but I couldn't even find a lot of the information in terms of results. There was just a lot going on involving last chance tournaments for Street Fighter, some exhibition-ish stuff for Tekken, etc., and KI World Cup qualifying as well. But Big House happened. Melee top 4 was Mango, Armada, Ice, and Mewtwo King. So that was quite this top 4. Also, who is Ice? Nobody knows, quite frankly. And then in Smash 4 top 4, we had Zero, Anti, Corey, Kiri, and Mr. R. So if you're interested, I would say that the Melee top 8 was a little bit more interesting than the Smash 4 top 8. And I'm not talking about like, oh, Melee's better to watch than Smash 4. I'm talking like there were some better storylines, I felt. The matches were hype. If you noticed in the top 4, Hungrybox didn't make it. Hungrybox tied for 5th with SFAT. He had a rough time. Also, Mewtwo King not top 8. Oh my goodness. I know, right? No, M2K had a rough time top 16 in terms of just matching up. Oh, excuse me, M2K took 4th. Who was I thinking of? I don't remember. Somebody took just outside of top 8. That was kind of a shocker. But anyways, thank you all very much for tuning in. My name is MTarget. This has been the Morning Meta. Thank you very much for spending your morning with me, and I will see you all Wednesday with some more drama and shenanigans, I am sure, because let's be honest, esports does not take a day off. So once again, thank you all very much, and I will see you next time.